Hi, this is Judy at the Peace Place. I welcome to hear you here, and I hope that you leave here more encouraged to walk through your day. I am an author and written a bunch of books and many stories about a relationship with God and how to establish that more deeply. The stories, almost always, the theme starts out where I hear God saying, "This is the way you all are. Here's how you do life," and are surprised about the results. But then He kind of pulls me back into Him to remember that He knows it all. There's nothing that's a surprise to God. God is love, and He will, if we have a desire, He will teach us how to live and walk in that love. I've studied and searched. I'm 70 now, so for 40 some years actively, before I found His arms again. I searched many of the leadership things of the world, many of the philosophies and religions, everything about stress management, trying to learn about what it is and if it is possible for us to get back to that place of perfect peace and live there. I've discovered it is possible, and it's where I live a great deal of the time, and helps me to be able to face all the chaos and the divisiveness and the deception of the world in a way that I can often bring peace to the situation just because I am grounded in the peace and the love of God. Not always there, but my desire is that each day as I learned how to allow God to order my steps. I can live there and stay there and walk there and reflect that place. So from the Peace Place, today I'm going to share with you a prayom called Faith Rise once again. And I hope that it's a blessing to you. I ask you to listen carefully to it and listen carefully to how the theme of love permeates the whole thing. I pray that you're hopeful and encouraged. So faith rise once again. Where we've sidelined you, Lord, please forgive us. Where we've grabbed the reins and created the fuss and confusion while denying your right place, we now fall to our knees and begin seeking your face. Though you gave us choice and allow us to say no through so many cycles, we've seen that we still go in circles, reliving painful battles and tired plans. God, we lay them down now and reach for your hand. You speak about conforming to the patterns of the world, how that is not wise, and we can see how we have swirled and distorted much by embracing wrong ways. Will you forgive us, correct us, and restore all lost days? Draw us, teach us to recognize the sounds of your way. Remind us you will order our steps through every day. We thank you, Lord, for your wisdom and your power and your mercy and grace you're extending this hour. Though we hold such a mess, it is no surprise to you. You offer us guidance. Still, we choose other and do what we will after listening to many other voices, then habitually finding other to blame for choices we made. You wrote out directions and show us if we follow. Be vigilant, choose wisely. We don't have to wallow time and time again, repeating and reliving a mess. The key you give us unlocks peace. After we confess, we chose other. Often we live with our hope and identity on stuff. Then we get smacked in the face with, it's never enough. We are measured by man's standards and ranks. When that is where our value is, we find hope tanks and we feel helpless. Yet there is your voice, your wisdom we can return. It was you who spoke our plan to discover and learn our value as your treasure, much more than gold. Remind us, embrace us, restore and make us bold to stand again. God, you teach us to remind us. He teaches us every day to not rely on our own understanding. And as we can learn to focus, how often we do sideline him. We operate from our own plans and our own determination and our own will. And when we tell the truth, we go around vicious circles that often leave us dissatisfied. We grab the reins. We run our show. We act independent. And he still knows. He gives us choice, and he allows us to say no. But how often do we say no to God? So much of our lives in our surroundings and our atmospheres doing everything that they can do to eliminate the comfort, the leading, the reality, and the presence of God. God is more real. Though I lived outside of this whole faith arena for over 40 years, trying to latch on to the things mankind in the world says was the way to go. And now from this place of powerful, free submission to a holy God, who I have to apply my faith to know, I find that God does order my steps. God is faithful. He's not like man. Mankind doesn't have a clue on how to be faithful. Mankind follows the most popular agenda, the most paid agenda that approaches us. But when you peel back all of those different layers of mankind's strategies and agendas, you'll always find that there is a love beneath the whole thing that's willing to guide us. So as we learn, we do not have to conform to the patterns of this world, that there is open arms to us all the time to be able to walk into those arms, learn about what that whole thing is. We happen to call our process of that called the peace movement. And it is a process that anyone can find themselves in the place that they are just this day, be led into the comfort and the awareness that God is real. So there's so much that I could say about that, but mostly I just want to leave you with the encouragement today that mostly we don't know. Mostly there's been a lot there that's taught us about the world's ways. There's been a lot there that's taught us about the ritual of religious practices, but not in relationship with the God that's behind it all. He is a God of love. He is a God who is just. He is a God that has a plan for every one of us. And we can move in that. We can find how to walk that way. And so today I leave you with a word of encouragement that faith can rise once again, and that you can learn to abide in the presence of the holy God of unconditional love. So I'm signing out today. This is Coach Judy from the Peace Place. Blessings to you today.